this is Nancy Hlad, and you've tuned in to Nancy's Place. Today in our studios, we have a drummer, vocalist, and syndicated radio DJ. That's right, it's Craig Ebel from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Stay tuned and you'll hear lots of interesting information as well as great polka music.
I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy. I wanna sigh when you sigh, cry when you cry, smile when you smile, then I'll be happy. If you go north or south, if you go east or west, I'll follow you, sweetheart, and share your little love nest. I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy. I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy. I wanna sigh when you sigh, cry when you cry, smile when you smile, then I'll be happy. If you go north or south, if you go east or west, I'll follow you, sweetheart, and share your little love nest. I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy.
I had a chance to sit down with Craig, and the first question I asked him was how he got started in polka music.
Well, I was back in junior band, and I started playing trumpet, believe it or not.
Trumpet?
Trumpet. And I was like second chair trumpet in junior band. And then on the playground, I broke my wrist. And so I couldn't play trumpet for a while, but I still had to attend band class. And I always sat behind the drum set and kind of messing around and stuff while the practicing and stuff. And at that time, they didn't have like a drum set player in the band.
Okay.
And the music teacher says, he goes, well, here, try this. If you're doing that, try this, and do this. We'll try that. And then he goes, stick around after class. I want to show you something. And then I started playing rhythms because I caught on to rhythms pretty good and stuff. So the joke is I broke my wrist to become a drummer. And I got an old drum set from, it was an Indian country band my dad knew.
Okay. An Indian country band.
Indian country band, Bobby Bird and the T-Birds. And they had a drummer that borrowed a drum set to me, and then Dad would pay him lessons to teach me how to play like rhythms and stuff like that. And then the drummer of that band wanted to know how I could do certain things. Like I was teaching him. It's like I knew these, at that time it was like Polish polka rhythms. He's like, wow, how do you do that? And so I was teaching him lessons at the same time. But that was when I was about 10. I started playing when I was 10. Played my first job with Jolly J.
Jolly J.
It's for $25 on a flatbed semi at the Stearns County Fair.
That's kind of cool. And Well, how did you get influenced into polka music, or what were your first influences?
What brought me into this mess is my dad, along with his brother and a brother-in-law, they built a ballroom in the Twin Cities called the Bell Ray Ballroom, and the name is derived from all the brothers. B is for Bud, my uncle. E is for Elhart, my dad. L is for Laverne, my other uncle. R.A. is Ramaker, Bud Ramaker, and E is for Ebel. That's the Bell Ray. And they actually, the papers were signed the day I was born. And a year later, it opened, and they owned it through about 1970-71. And they sold it to the present owner, who sold it to the city here a few years ago, and they made it a community center. So the building still exists and stuff. So I grew up in a ballroom atmosphere with the bands and stuff. And when they couldn't find a babysitter, I would sleep on the floor in the ticket office, and my aunt would keep right by her feet while we was taking tickets through the door and stuff. So I wish they would have owned it like another 10 years, because then I would have got more involved, like hanging around the bands and stuff. I was pretty young, but I grew up in a ballroom atmosphere, so that's where I grew up with polka music. And in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, we had everything. It's like a melting pot. We had Polish music, we had German music, and we had the Slovenian music, and it was everything. That's the neat thing about being from our area. It's not just one style of music. Areas around Minnesota have certain styles of music. The Iron Range is Slovenian, New Ulm music is German, Southern Minnesota is all Czech, but the Twin Cities had everything. And that was the neat thing about it. So, I mean, Dad would get records from all these bands. You want to play in my ballroom, give me a record, and all these records. And I used to, throw them around the house. And sorry I did on some of those, because I lost a lot of records, because I get into record collecting. But that's how I got into it. And so then Dad got this drum set, and then I just started playing. I got a call from this one band, Al Durkee and the Melody Artists, and I was like 14 or 15, and he was looking for a drummer. So we tried it out. I played, and the rest is kind of history. In 9th and 10th grade, I was playing 3 nights a week.
Wow. I'm
almost 40 now. What am I doing? Playing 3 nights a week. Still doing the same thing. And I went from, I should let you ask the questions, but I just
keep going.
Chronological order. Yeah, Al Durkee and the Melody Artists, which was like a Dick Rogers style band.
Okay.
3 saxes, 2 horns, tuba, accordion, piano, and drums. And it was like a Dick Rogers. He liked Lawrence Duco and Dick Rogers. That was his thing, like a large Dutchman style band. Okay. And we went everywhere from an 8-piece band to a 4-piece combo to play smaller places and stuff. And I was 9th and 10th grade. I was playing 3 nights a week, and I'd get home Sunday night. First class on Monday morning was band, second class was choir, third class was study hall, and I slept. Couldn't take it anymore, and then it was lunch. And then started like 14, 15, and graduated from high school, and then eventually moved down to the cities and went to radio broadcasting school. And I joined a Polish band, Ernie Mazurek's White Eagle Concertina Band. then I went, started like 14, 15, then graduated from high school, and then eventually moved down to the cities and went to radio broadcasting school. And I joined a Polish band, Ernie Mazurek's White Eagle Concertina Band.
How many concertinas? Is that like a button box group where they have like...
No, it was one concertina.
Just one concertina.
Yep. One concertina, and that was his gimmick, the White Eagle Concertina Band. He had a band just before that called the Astronomical Pig Band.
And they...
were the same band. They wore different vests. So I played with this Ernie Mazurek for a couple years, and then what happened? Then I hooked up with another band, Chuck and the Woodchucks. Chuck Allison was his name, and his band was Chuck and the Woodchucks. He had on his bandstand, he had a woodchuck with a bow tie on it, and it was like that's where I got really into foxtrots. Okay. Foxtrot style band, and all I'm going now. I'm going through all this kids stuff and all that. My favorite band when I grew up was Gene Thomas and the Jolly Brothers, which was a Polish polka band out of the cities. That was my band when I was a kid. Really? I always wanted to play with like Gene Thomas and the Jolly Brothers. So I'm German Bohemian, but I always enjoyed Polish music.
So that you would say that would be your favorite?
That would be my favorite. It always has been. And then when Gene Thomas and the Jolly Brothers broke up, there was another band called the Mrozinski Brothers. They started in the early 70s. So it's like, someday I want to play with the Mrozinski Brothers. I think that'd be so cool. Well, in the meantime, I'm playing with German bands. Then I get a chance with a Polish band, but it was kind of a grade 2, grade 3 Polish band.
Gotcha.
But it was work. It was plain Polish. That's what I wanted to do. Then I get with Chuck and the Woodchucks, and by God, if I'm playing 5 nights a week, we're playing every Wednesday night here, we're playing every Thursday night here. And yeah, he'd play polkas and waltzes, but it's like I'm introduced to Satin Doll and Sioux City Sue and all these foxtrots and two-steps, and that's where I kind of, for two and a half years, I was cultured in how to play cha-chas and tangos and rumbas, and bought my first pair of brushes and...
send a letter their way.
And you can write me a letter. Send it to P.O. Box 43313, Cleveland, Ohio 44143, or email me, Nancy@polkas.com. Write me and tell me what you think about Nancy's Place.
Yeah, so while I was playing with this Chuck and the Woodchucks, this Chuck Allison band, I was also working part-time at a radio station that played polka music. It was a sunrise to sunset station, and it was 80% polka and 20% country.
Really?
And when I worked there, I knew the names of the bands, knew how to said Landler instead of and it's like their audience increased because I started playing polka music, and the program director did not like that because I was supposed to stick to format. Play 3 polkas, 2 country. I was playing like 5 polkas, 1 country, and that's what I like to play. So anyway, so that's the deal there. So I was playing with this Chuck Allison, and we were playing. I kind of know who this Denny Anderson was. Kind of knew who he was. I seen his picture on albums, or seen him around. Or seen him on the circus. I never really knew him, but we were playing this one place. I can't think of the place now. I'll think of it. We were playing this one afternoon job, and he walks in there with this guy, and this guy is Frankie Kramer. And stuff, and you start talking. Well, you're a good drummer. Yeah. What do you do? Radio? Oh, we need a announcer at the station I do my show at. Oh, where's that? Virginia, Minnesota. I can get you a job there. Hey, and if you come up there, you can play with my band.
Really?
And it was a setup or something. I couldn't believe it. So it's like, a couple phone calls later, I go up for an interview. Lo and behold, I'm the afternoon disc jockey at the station, and then I'm playing with Frankie Kramer. I move up to the Iron Range, 3 hours away. I never knew this place existed.
Wow.
And then, I knew who Frankie Yankovic was. I knew that style of music. We had Gary Kent, Frankie Yankovic, Hank Thanander type bands in the Twin Cities. So I go up to the Iron Range, and it's like, wow, what a unique culture up here. And it was a couple years. I learned all about Slovenian music. I bought my first Johnny Pecan record at Perpich TV and Appliance Center. I thought, wow, this is cool. Who's this guy? Johnny Pecan. Wow. So I played up there with Frankie Kramer and learned about button box bands and groups and stuff, and I learned all about Slovenian music. Then I started kind of playing around with a concertina. And the person teaching me concertina got mad because I wouldn't read the music, and I started playing everything by ear.
There's music for concertinas?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You never knew that?
No.
It's just like button box music.
Oh, okay.
Actually, if you look
Connect
at
the dots, or is it actually written numbers, or
No,
what?
it's numbers, because you look on the side of a keyboard of a concertina,
Yes.
there's numbers and little symbols and
Right.
stuff. So the concertina music has all the notes, but they have the numbers and the symbols above the notes.
Oh, I see.
And then they have a little tent, whether you push in or pull out,
Oh, okay.
because it's diatonic, much like a button,
Yes.
like an accordion or a harmonica.
Okay.
In and out, it's a different note. So I was kind of futzing around with the concertina, and eventually got a concertina and took some lessons, and the teacher was mad because I was saying, hey, guess what I learned? What'd you learn? Well, there's a song. Well, you don't have music for that yet. Well, I know, but here, check it out. I can play it. So I kind of started playing by ear. Then I started playing some concertina jobs and stuff like that. But I think, I forgot how this all went, but I think I got a call. That's when I got a call from Tom Rosinski of the Rosinski Brothers. And they were, I don't remember, but they were looking for a drummer that could play all styles, because they wanted to get more into rock and roll, believe it or not.
Really?
And do weddings and stuff. And they also wanted a good Polish polka drummer, but that could also handle like the heavy-duty rock and roll stuff. And it's like, started doing this and practicing, and it's like, wow, I'm playing with my dream band.
Yeah.
This is the band I grew up like a kid. Used to sit on the stage with a little tape recorder. The little boy to sit by the drummer, watch the drummer with the tape recorder, and tape every song of the Rosinski Brothers. And it was a very, very high quality Polish polka band out of the Twin Cities. But one thing held him back is his health.
Oh.
He had no kidneys.
No kidneys.
Well, he had a kidney, and that didn't work. And then he got a kidney from his brother, transplant or something, and then that didn't work. Or he had one working kidney. He was always on dialysis, the poor guy. And if he would have had his health, because he was such a promoter, he had his own recording studio.
Really?
Electork Recordings. Renata and Girls, Girls, Girls recorded 5 albums there. The Mrozinski Brothers, 3 albums. He had his own studio. Eddie Blazonczyk has his own studio. He comes out with an album every year.
Yeah.
Tom Brzezinski had his own studio. He came out with an album every 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Because he's always hospital and dialysis and stuff. So yeah, he either had a good day or a bad day. Educated trumpet player, trumpet, sax, clarinet. He played a lot of instruments. Learned a lot from him. Learned a lot about driving a band, being a drummer, how to drive a band, how to. I just learned a lot from him. He was one of the musicians I learned a lot from.
I love the girl who invented kissing. I don't recall her name. I do believe that girl should sit high in the Hall of Fame. She taught the fellas how to smooch instead of holding hands. She showed them how to steal a kiss, just like in foreign lands. Until she came along, just think what we were missing. I'm telling you, there was nothing to do till that girl invented kissing. And if I had my way, the only thing I'm wishing is to make a date, then stay out late with the girl who invented kissing. Showed the girls how to pucker up and roll their big blue eyes. She showed them how to kiss hello and how to kiss goodbye. She patented the kiss of fire and how to kiss goodnight. On every kind of kiss and hug, she holds the copyright. Until she came along, just think what we were missing. I'm telling you, there was nothing to do till that girl invented kissing. And if I had my way, the only thing I'm wishing is to make a date, then stay out late with the girl who invented kissing.
time, I get a call from Denny Anderson.
Really?
We all know him. We all love him.
Right.
Get a call from Denny Anderson. He goes, Craig, he goes, we're in a bind. We need a drummer this weekend. He's playing with Roger Bright. And I've met Roger Bright in the past, and we've known each other and stuff kind of off and on. And he goes, boy, we're in a bind. We need a drummer so bad. He goes, can you play it? I go, geez, I'm playing with this band, and I'm quitting, but I still got to play these jobs out. He goes, can't you help us out? I go, well, I'll see what I can do. I go, it's a pretty easy gig. I think I can maybe get out of this one. So I call the band leader. I go, I know I got a couple weeks with you left and stuff. He goes, and he knows, the band leader knows who Roger is and stuff. And
sure.
Boy, they need a hand this weekend. They're going on some trip, and it's like, can you live without me on this one? I'll still play there. They need a help this weekend. He goes, yeah, we can get so and so. Go ahead. No problem. No hard feelings. So I hook up with Denny. I go with Denny, and he goes, oh, you're going to play with Roger Bright. You got to listen to how he plays and stuff. So in go all these tapes, and we're listening to Roger Bright music for 5 hours, and I'm listening. Then I went to Yankovic music, and then more Roger Bright songs. It's like, wow, interesting. Okay, so
Crash course, huh?
yeah. So that particular weekend, we played the hotel, the Glarus Hotel, and it's like, wow, this is neat. A lot of fun. And drank beer, played. Well, the next day, that was only 3-piece. Next day, we hooked up with Bob and Scott Lorenz, and we headed for Hecker, Illinois, south of St. Louis. Oof. From my understanding, we were 14 miles from the Tennessee border. That's a long drive. And so I got introduced to this van and travel. And then Sunday, we played in Staunton, Illinois, at the Crystal Ballroom. And I'm like, this is pretty neat and stuff. They set up a microphone for me, and I sang Johnny's Knocking.
No.
Because he goes, yeah, you know that Polish stuff, don't you? And yeah, I'll sing. Pretty neat. And so we get back, and I used Gene's old drums.
Okay.
And then it's like I made head or tails, try to put these drums together. They've the same drums for 30 years, falling apart and stuff. So we get back to Roger's driveway, and he pays me, and he's like, what are you doing next weekend? I go, well, I got to play with this band. I got to finish out the jobs with this band. He goes, well, I'll give you a call. I got some jobs maybe you could do, Well, that was it. He never asked me to join the band, but about 2 or 3 weeks later, I was the steady drummer for Roger Bright for 5 years. He never asked me to join the band. It's like, would you like to join the band? It's like, no, I got some. Bring your calendar along. Bring your book along. I got some jobs that you could do. And every weekend for the next 5 years.
Wow.
I racked up 247,000 miles on my truck in 5 years.
Wow.
Driving back and forth from Minneapolis to south of Madison. What would end with the snoring Anderson banjo player.
Right.
Do the polka dance on the island of romance, Jamaican holiday. Sun shines down most every day. Many people go to beaches white as ivory snow. Come along with me to the island in the sea. You won't believe your eyes in this tranquil paradise. Come enjoy with me Jamaican hospitality. Frolic in the sand, walking barefoot hand in hand. Jamaican holiday, making love down by the bay. Come, let's take a trip. Drink some rum aboard a ship. Walk along the sea, beneath the shade of big palm trees. Feel the trade winds blow. Grab an island girl, let's go. Come and follow me to this sunset-painted fantasy. You won't believe your eyes in this tranquil paradise. Come enjoy with me Jamaican hospitality. Frolic in the sand, walking barefoot hand in hand. Jamaican holiday, making love down by the bay. Steel drums ring out Hoy, hoy, man! The people shout, dancing to the beat. Calypso rhythms in the street, jamming all night long to this tropic polka song. Jamaican holiday, to make it your own hideaway. You won't believe your eyes in this tranquil paradise. Come enjoy with me Jamaican hospitality. Frolic in the sand, walking barefoot hand in hand. Jamaican holiday, making love down by the bay.
Looking for polka music? Visit the Nancy's Place Polka Store. If you have a Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, and access to the internet, you can order some of your favorite polka music, CDs, cassettes, and videos from the comfort of your own home, shipped directly to your front door. The Nancy's Place Polka Store has over 100 artists available, with recordings from Sunshine Records, Bel Air Records, Dino Polka Records, Peppermint Records, and much, much more. You can find the Nancy's Place Polka Store at www.polkas.com.
More often than not, when you started off, you weren't traveling very much.
No.
It was just around the Twin Cities?
It was all, around Twin Cities and central Minnesota. And when I played with John Flipjack, we did some travels. We went into Michigan a couple times, Grand Haven, Michigan, Bel Air, Michigan, Wyandotte, Michigan. And then he did book one job out in New Jersey and Massachusetts.
That was a very long trip. Yes.
25 hours. We went out there. We played Pulaski Park, and then we played something Polish Community Center in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And then he had another job booked out there, but it fell through. And he just bought a brand new trailer, and on the way out, the tongue of the trailer was coming loose, and it was kind of a bad deal. But it was a good experience and stuff. With Mrozinski's, we played in Milwaukee and Chicago, and we did a little traveling, but primarily it was,
around the Midwest.
It was in and around the Midwest. So family life and stuff. It's like 5 years with Roger. It's like, wow, I gotta settle down here. So I get off the road with Roger, and because Roger's son Kevin could start playing drums and stuff, and so I kind of committed to this one band, this Bruce Bradley band.
And he is what style?
I put him in a class of poor man's Vern Meisner.
Okay.
Plays Sylvanian style, but it's all based on like Dutchman music. That's the area he grew up around, and it's all these Dutchman songs kind of played Sylvanian style. I teased Bruce, I go, if it wasn't for Roger Bright or Vern Meisner, you'd have nothing to play or record. And he's like, you son of a gun, but you're right. Because it's all Vern Meisner and Roger Bright songs on his recordings and stuff. So I played with Bruce for a couple of years. It worked out and stuff, and I still do to this day. I still work with Bruce. I'm just not fully committed to him. And I help out all kinds of bands, just all kinds of bands. Now I'm getting calls from bands all over the place. Alex Meixner.
Okay.
They heard me play with Bruce Bradley down in Humboldt, Iowa. And they thought that was pretty neat. And they ran into a bind where their drummer was in a car crash and fractured the entire upper half of his body.
Ooh.
He calls me up like 3 weeks before Iron World. Craig, we need a drummer for Iron. We'll pay anything you want. I go, well, I'm already playing 3 days up there with 3 different bands. I go, I can't move stuff around, He goes, don't worry about it. We'll call Iron World. We'll have them change the schedule. 2 days later, they call back. It's like, you can play with us. We move stuff around where you can play with those bands. They'll have a drum set for.
Hi, folks. This is Nancy Hlad, and you've tuned into Nancy's Place. Today in our studios, we have a drummer, vocalist, and syndicated radio DJ. That's right, it's Craig Ebel from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Stay tuned and you'll hear lots of interesting information as well as great polka music.
I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy. I wanna sigh when you sigh, cry when you cry, smile when you smile, then I'll be happy. If you go north or south, if you go east or west, I'll follow you, sweetheart, and share your little love nest. I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy. I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy. I wanna sigh when you sigh, cry when you cry, smile when you smile, then I'll be happy. If you go north or south, if you go east or west, I'll follow you, sweetheart, and share your little love nest. I wanna go where you go, do what you do, love when you love, then I'll be happy.
Let's all go to Nancy's Place for polkas on the net. The latest news and bands that play are there for you to get. Buy the best CDs and tapes and give them to your friends at Polkas.com. Polkas never end.
Hey, Craig, I hear you're married and she might be a musician?
Yes, she is, by golly, anyway. I'm married to a lovely gal named Lori, and she plays with her dad's band and has for many years, the Marv Nissel Band out of New Ulm, Minnesota, which is a family band. Marv and his wife Carol, and then she also has a sister named Jody, and Jody has since gotten married and is kind of fading out of the band and stuff. So needless to say, and she was the drummer, so needless to say, my drumming performances with the Marv Nissel Band has picked up over the years. But yeah, I married Marv Nissel's daughter, Lori. We've been married 6 years. And she plays concertina, fiddle, trumpet, and some drums, and a little keyboard. And that's about that.
How hard is it? Do you guys see each other much on the weekends? I mean, being a musician, and I know from my own experience with Eric, I mean, I'm a button box player, but they still categorize you as a musician. And he actually plays most of the jobs, and he's gone a lot of the time. And it makes it a little bit difficult to kind of hang out with each other. And a lot of people have told me that we'll be married a lot longer because of that. But I mean, is that, do you play in Iowa and she's somewhere in Wisconsin, or?
Yeah, that has happened many, many times where we're like on the opposite ends of the earth, and it's almost comical. You really have to have a real strong relationship to do something like this, and an understanding. Since we're both she grew up playing in her parents' band from just a little tiny tot, and she's still doing it, and stuff, and you have to have a very good understanding and a feel for the music, because the elements to this band thing a lot of people don't see the bad side of being in a band, you know,
Yeah.
and the downside. There's always a lot of fun to be had, but there's a lot of people to be had too, I guess.
Something like that.
I don't know about that. Mine, take that out. I don't understand that. But yeah, there's been many times where we're on the different ends. When I was playing with Roger, I was in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and she was in maybe Bismarck, North Dakota.
Oh, wow.
Or I was in St. Louis, Missouri, and she was in Arizona. There's one coming up. We got to play a weekend where she's in Deadwood, South Dakota, and I'm in Dubuque, Iowa.
Wow.
And we talk on the phone. It's like, okay, well, I'll see you home Monday morning. You know, did you feed the cats when we left? Yep, fed the cats. Okay, we're good to go. Yeah, a lot of times it's like that. Or like I'm out here. She played in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I'm out here working on this Christmas project with Denny, and it's it's very weird. It's nice when I can play with their band and help out.
Sure.
Because we can be together
Yeah.
and as a family type thing. Or when she's not playing, she'll make an attempt to come with me, play the band wife, or I go with their band and be the band wife, sit at the bar and drink beer and play pull tabs. Or it's just better if I just or if I just play the job with them and stuff type thing. But yeah, it's like two ships passing in the night sometimes. It really is.
There's so much more I could probably ask you, but we'll have to save that for another time.
Another time. I've heard that from announcers before. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate your interest and
I'm looking forward to this new recording you guys are working on right now.
Doing a Christmas recording. We're always involved with something. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. But I turned 40 here in about 3 weeks, and 30 of those years I've been playing polka music, and the music has brought a lot of happiness to me. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I give a lot of credit to Roger Bright. He kind of took me under his wing. That was hard shoes to fill, because I was replacing one of the most fantastic vocalists in the polka industry. As a drummer, he was so-so. He kept the beat. So I'm a good drummer, but I'm not that great of a vocalist, and it was really hard to fill those shoes. But I learned a lot playing with Roger, saw a lot and stuff. And this is just my way to give something back to music. I keep the radio shows going. I keep playing. I grew up with the music, and I'll probably end doing the music too, because I just want to give something back to music, because the music has given me so much pleasure and happiness. All styles, I love it all. If it's played well, I love it. If it's not played so well, I will pick on it. No, you still enjoy it. It's all good, no matter how it's played and who plays it and stuff. And it's so that's it. It's always polka time at my house.
Well, great. Thank you very much, and we'll see you down the road somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
See ya.
Please ask them to play a polka just for me. Before they throw away the key, forget about me. Play that old sweet melody. Before they turn out the lights and we say goodnight, let's have just one more dance. Before they call it a day, please ask them to play that old sweet melody. Dance, dance, dance with the girl I adore. Dance, dance, dance till I hit the floor. I wanna dance, 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 going round and round to that happy sound. Before they take me away, please ask them to play a polka just for me. Before they